I'm currently on a 100-year quest to complete every game I started but never finished, and I'm slowly making my way through my mountain of games. And since I had just finished Tales of Arise, I was looking for something a bit more action-based to switch things up. So I looked through my games and it's perfect. Metroid Dread is one of those games I got while I was in college and just never had the time to finish. I'd gotten close to halfway through the game, so I didn't want to restart it either. So I opted to just continue where I had left off. Booting the game back up, I was not sure what to expect. I hadn't played in so long, I had no idea how the controls work. So, I died. A lot. I also got lost. A lot. So, rather than struggling and yelling at the game for 5 hours trying to figure out where to go, I did the logical thing. And man, am I glad I did that. I got lost so many times, and this isn't even my first Metroidvania. I also have Hollow Knight and Ori, both of which I also did not beat. I really suck at these kind of games. Metroid Dread follows Samus after she is sent to the planet ZDR to investigate after the Galactic Federation had lost contact with the E.M.M.I. These mother floofers, but more on those later. Upon arrival, Samus is met with the Baltimore Ravens mascot, Poe, and after a brutal loss, Samus loses all of her abilities. But in return, gets a sexy new outfit. So now Samus has a new mission: recover all of her abilities and get to her ship. And as you progress through the game, you get more snippets of the story here and there, as most Metroidvanias do. This game is also a sequel to Metroid Fusion, which was released on the Game Boy in 2002, and was actually pitched to be released in 2007 for the Nintendo DS, but was eventually closeted due to technical limitations. Playing Metroid Fusion definitely helps ground the story a bit more, but I didn't do that, so you can be like me and just read this. Good job, now you're caught up. Okay, back to these guys, the E.M.M.I. The E.M.M.I were sent here to investigate the X-Parasite, but they were hacked and reprogrammed to hunt down Samus to extract her Metroid DNA so Poe can become a god and finally win a Super Bowl. I'm kidding. But the extracting DNA from Samus part is true. By the way, the main villain in this game, his name is literally Ravenbeak. Poe's better. Anyways, the E.M.M.I lead us to the main gimmick of Metroid Dread. E.M.M.I zones. In these zones, all you can do is run. In all honesty, these rooms are both terrifying and ridiculously fun. I'm normally screaming my entire way through them, feeling like Tom Cruise in any Mission Impossible movie. Metroid Dread's combat and gameplay is refined to perfection. All the controls are super responsive, and moving in this game just feels great. You have complete control of Samus. Sliding through the gaps and jumping around is honestly one of my favorite parts of this game. And the combat in this game requires those precise movements. This game is definitely not easy. I died a lot, and I know I suck at these types of games, but even after I got really good at the combat, if I didn't make the right move at the right time, I could die in a hit or two. The final boss in this game took me almost 2 hours to beat. That's how difficult this game can be. And on top of that, after you beat the game, you are given the option to play on hard mode, and again after that, dread mode. So if you like to be tortured, this game gives you that option. Another huge part of Metroid games is exploration. The game has a pretty large map, but I didn't find it too big to the point it was aggravating to backtrack. It offers a good amount of areas across CDR to explore, each with its own environment and enemies. But a lot of these environments are blocked off, requiring either a new skill or suit to get into. This keeps the game pretty linear and really helps with pacing. And by the end of the game, it's worth going back to each of those areas to get all the missile and health upgrades that were once inaccessible. Because trust me, you're gonna need them. Even after 3 years, this game holds up perfectly. Everything down to the traversal, combat, and pacing was perfected. You can tell the developers genuinely wanted to make this game the best they possibly could. So it's no wonder it was the top most wanted Metroid game by the Nintendo staff, and now it's the most sold Metroid game of all time. If you have any doubts or reservations, or maybe you've never played a Metroid game before, just go for it. The game has an option for easy mode if it's too hard, and the main story only clocks in around 10 hours. So if you don't have too much time on your hands, it's a great one to pick. Overall, I had a really great experience with this game. Aside from the nightmares it left me, I have nothing negative to say. Bye.